Hi everyone, welcome to Silverwastes. Silverwastes, as you can tell, is to the west of Brisbane Wildlands if you're trying to figure out how to get here. So in general, the merchants, this entire map, the main currency they use is bandit crests or bandit tokens, whatever you want to call it. You can spend it at this merchant over here.
One's knowledge cannot go beyond one's experience.
You can see they require a large amount of bandit crests.
Get to it.
You can get, I'll let you check it out later. Another thing for this map, during particular boss fights, you can use these items, extractors, to receive a particular piece of the boss. That piece can be used to make different armor and weapons, well, really armor, that will go to the achievement. Once you're done during that entire achievement for the luminescence armor, you'll be able to get these armor pieces here. So you can see that the NPCs are wearing in shiny blue. Okay, more on to the map. Now, there is a lot going on during this map, even though it's about the size of Kershore, or maybe smaller than Kershore, there's still a lot. Each one of these areas that you see marked with an orange sword, that's the location of a fort. Each fort has a particular color associated, like this is red fort. This is purple fort or indigo. This is amber fort or yellow. Up here is blue oasis or blue fort. I am going to move away from that NPC so it doesn't keep talking. Okay, so next up, every once in a while you'll see a little tiny green square like this that says Cryptobotanist. If you use that Immortum extractor piece that I mentioned earlier to get a Mortem part, you would take that Mortem part over to the Cryptobotanist. He has various spawn locations, and depending on the spawn location will determine what piece of a creature he's looking for. If you give him a piece he's not looking for, you will get a significantly lower number of bandit crests back from him. Next up are, let's see, I want to say the script tunnels. Okay, right here, this is a script tunnel. This is a script tunnel. Everything with this icon is a script tunnel. You notice there isn't a red sword on it? That's because people have done the event over here, which is protect the scripts. To get over to that script area, you go from the spawn area over here, past the skill point, and over to this point of interest, which is the cave entrance. That's how you get there. So you ever see the script tunnel with the red X, just know you have to do the event to open them up. The script tunnels allow for fast travel. One of the fast travel locations is right here. I'll interact with it, enter tunnel. And I should be going somewhere in the middle of the map. It's been a while. Here we go. I'm right outside of Indigo Fort. Notice over here at Red Fort, the orange sword is gone, so that means players have captured that fort. This is what a fort will look like when the Mortem, our enemies, have taken it over. This orange bar on the right side of the screen shows how many Mortem are remaining. Once all the Mortem are gone, like the bars fill completely, you can attack that vine in the center, and that will capture the fort for the pack, and it will be filled with a ton of NPCs. I'm gonna run over to Red Rock, and we can check it out, what a capture fort looks like. In case you're wondering, since this is the in-game area, it does have ancient wood and orichalcum in it as well. Orichalcum seems rare. So each fort has a guild lord or an NPC lord or a commander, war master, whatever you want to call it. This one has this chart. If this chart dies, We have like 2 minutes to res them before the fort's completely taken over. Notice the event just spawned here, and on the right side of the screen it says mortem attacks will subside in 3.5 minutes. If we can defend this fort from the mortem attacks, then we get to keep the fort. This is like a PvE version of War vs. World. Looks like while I'm raising this NPC that's on the other side, you can tell that there's a pot of oil up above the door. So we got the pot of oil above the door by escorting pack bulls to this camp. There's a pack bull right here at Red Rock. It is coming over here to this, our red fort, and it will give us more siege weapons to use. Next up are these walls. The walls can be taken down by mortem. If the walls are taken down and you successfully manage to defend your fort, that will start a rubble building event. You will collect rocks, hand it to the NPC, and then the walls will eventually be rebuilt. This mortem mender that I'm fighting, the little tiny ones, you can consider them like monks or healers from Guild Wars 1 and other games. They will heal other mortems and also heal themselves, so it's important to take them down. One thing to note about these forts, by escorting the pack bulls does give you more siege weapons. Try to remember to use them because they are really helpful against the mortem waves. The mortem will become more stronger and more aggressive as more attacks happen to the fort. Last thing to note, these mortem husks, they are kind of anti-Zerker. You can see underneath their health bar says tough bark. That means a lot of armor. But if you have a lot of conditions, you can burn them down rather easily. I see a player using the burning oil up there, so I am kiting the husk into the burning oil so they can one-shot kill them. Next up, 1.5 minutes. You notice the red X are in the script tunnels showing that we can't use them. This purple pack bull is heading over to Purple Fort to give them more supply. As the pack bull travels, it will be attacked 3 times. It needs to be protected those 3 times. The game does give you a chance to rest them if it does die. A limited time. If it does die completely, it will respawn at its fort. So the pack bulls are kinda... It spawns in always the same order. So red pack bull always come from red. So purple one for red fort, purple one from our fort. Our initial spawn point base, Camp Resolve. Purple fort sends out a pack bull to Blue Oasis. The Blue Oasis will not receive any supplies unless Purple Fort is taken. Amber Fort, Yellow will not receive any supplies unless Red Fort is taken. So the general strategy is to take Red and Purple Fort first. Let's see if I can get this player. Oh, the rally. Bull's back down again. You notice each time the bull goes down, the timer that we had to respond him is significantly lower. I would not be able to rest that bull in time, so I'm leaving out the area. Another thing, this Thrasher, as it sits on the ground, it will use vines on anyone that's range. The vines kill people, so stay in melee range and you'll be fine. All the Thrashers work like this. Well, particular Thrasher. The Thrasher also had this red AoE circle with this blood effect. If you get into it, it will steal your life force, so that boss can be tricky. Melee when it's on the ground, range attack when the AoE circle is up on the ground. Okay, this is a rebel event that I was talking about earlier. This NPC is collecting rubbles. The rubbles, if you hold down control, you cannot see them. You'll have to mouse over them to actually see them. I'm picking up the rock and handing it back over to this guy. Here we go. He wants 25 pieces of rubble in order to try rebuilding the fort's walls. This fort has multiple walls that's been destroyed. Another thing to watch out for, if he dies, that's it. The vent fails and the walls will stay destroyed, which makes the fort much weaker for the next attack of Mordrum. Another common strategy, you can pick up the boulder and throw the rubble over to the NPC and hope that another player will see that rubble, pick it up, and give it to the NPC. Alright, I'm going to keep moving on so we can see what else is going on. Except a player is dead in here. Okay, nice. This is a legendary. Legendary Mortem Annihilator. There is one legendary per fort, and they spawn depending on how well the fort is doing, or the map is doing normally. On the right side of the screen, you can see that it says we have 3 out of 4 fortresses held, and we're right at the beginning. The fortresses level 3 out of 4 of them have been upgraded. So this map must have been doing extremely well, and now a legendary spawn to give us more of a challenge. He also, by defeating this one, you'll get various different achievements. One is a new title. You can call yourself the Annihilator with the new title you'll earn for him. Another one is like the Demolisher. Okay. While we're attacking this one, I am gonna check out the rest of the map and see what else is going on. Right here, Blue Oasis, this little small red X with a circle in between it. It means that the Lord NPC here, the main one, has been killed or down. Also, Indigo's NPC is down. We also have Terragrids that just wander in here. And that's because the fort is under attack with the Annihilator right inside. Okay, there's a ton of people inside a red fort, so I'm just gonna leave. I believe that event does scale. More people equal more champions, there's stronger enemies. Looks like they got the Indigo NPC up in time. This place will be okay in 30 seconds. You can see the time at the right side of the screen. The orange bar there is for the NPC's health, the Lord's health, that cannot die. I almost went down there. You can map here, but it will not count for world completion. This area also has the, let's see, Ravenous Retreat, where bandits are here. If you talk to this lady, she will agree to disarm all the traps in her base, in her camp or settlement, if you pay her 2 gold. I am not going to do that. 2 gold is expensive. So let me show you what one of the traps looks like. Right there. You notice I got a lot of bleeds and conditions on me. And they're everywhere. So how you can get around this is by running around to the right. Going all the way over here. And this controller will turn off the traps. By turning off the traps, she'll turn into a champion. And she will try to kill you for messing with her traps and not paying her 2 gold. If you killed her, you will get a key. This key can be used to open up the chests. The Tarna chest up there to the left. I will go ahead and get out of here in the meantime. There are other places to go, like through this brick cave over here that I mentioned. There's a jumping puzzle. Far Shiverwastes up here, you cannot get to that area unless you take the script tunnel. And to do the script tunnels, as we talked about earlier, you need to do the script event, which is over here. Okay, nice. Okay, everyone, check out the bar on the right side of the screen. It's almost completely full. This is called a pack assault preparations completed. So when these forts are really defended well and we have them all and everything's going good in general, the pack will get ready to take the fight on the Mortar Moth, which is the Elder Dragon. Once it reaches 100%, an event called the Breach will happen. So for the Breach, each fort will have a hole that will open up in the middle of it. Each fort has a different method or mechanic to fighting the bosses underground. So a hole will open up here. You'll jump into the hole. Do not walk in, because if you walk in, you have a chance of dying, and then people are like, "Why did I die?" Because you didn't jump into the hole. So once you're in the hole, for Red Rock Bastion, the boss there is a husk. A husk, as we talked about earlier, are weak to conditions. So people that have range attacks and are good with conditions should go there. There are going to be these little tiny mini husks that are going to be running around. They're going to be the size of this mini pet, my trend over here. And they will heal the boss. They'll heal the boss whenever they're killed or whenever they're near it, I believe. So the best strategy in that situation is for one player to run out and kite the mini husk. I'm going to try to show you all 4 bosses in one go. I may not be able to do this, and I may have to do multiple videos to actually cover this. We'll see. On the right side of the screen, you can tell we have 5 minutes to defeat all 5 champions. If we do, we'll get a bonus chest, which I'll talk more about later. These are the mini husks that I have talked about. That's the Mordom that you will use conditions on to kill. Look how fast his health dropping for everyone that's using conditions. I am going to go off to another champion. I am going to go over to Amber Fort, which is Yellow Fort over here. This is the fort that normally kills their creature first. Their creature is a troll. This troll... Wow, it's already dead. Okay, the troll will have orange ring circles. Just stay out the orange ring circles and attack them. And kill them. That's how it works with the troll. Nothing fancy for it. The next one to normally die is either Platinum or Indigo. It's kind of tied for each. It says 2 blue aces. 2 out of 5 champions have been defeated. And I know Indigo has 2 champions, so I'm going to go over there to check. I won't be able to check on Blue. Blue Oasis champion is one you just chase after. He goes underground, he spins around to shoot projectiles. Use reflex on those projectiles and you are all good. This is Indigo. The trick with this one is there are going to be bubbles all around this battle arena. Here's a bubble over here. You attack the bubble when the boss is near. That will cause the boss to be stunned. Stunning the boss will allow you to DPS the boss. And then it's going to run away. Then you pop another bubble by it and you repeat the pattern. That's how it works with Indigo.
Standing around waiting for something to happen. Why not just share your
If the bubbles aren't pop and the 2 bosses collide, they will rear their head back and start screaming like crazy. When that happens, run. Run from the Indigo boss then. Use range attacks. If you stay and try to attack that boss while it's screaming, it's going to kill you because its scream hurts really bad. You can also use those Mortem Extractors that I talked about earlier from the merchant to collect a piece of that boss for the achievement and also to turn it in to get more bandit crests. Okay, so this is Amber Fort. The breach just happened, so I'm about to jump into Amber. And we can fight the troll here. Thing about the troll is he starts off pretty easy, simple, dodge a few orange circles. He's normally the boss, the breach bot that dies the fastest. So things will start getting crazy soon enough though. No more just orange circles, we now have red circles but has a bunch of bees. That swirling wind that's next to him, I believe that's poison. My host's too low to really test it. But you notice he looks in different directions and put that on the orange cone. Around the 50% mark, his attack pattern will change again. Now he has that orange cone in the center, and now the other one. So as far as I know, the trick is to stand between those two orange circles, and you'll be fine. The orange circle will represent the poison winds that he's going to be shooting out everyone. People normally go down during the poison wind phase. Here's the poison wind. A lot of people are down, and what's really depends on this on how fast you can get the players up before they all die completely. Nice, Ember Sun. I didn't get a chance to show you Blue Oasis, but that boss is you chase him around. When he has a vulnerability icon underneath his health bar, it means he's gonna go underground and pop up somewhere else. And he always go in a clockwise pattern, so you just keep chasing him. When he spins, he'll shoot out green projectiles, bounce the projectile back, and you'll damage him. That's it for Amber and Blue Oasis boss. Okay, everyone, next up, this is after the breach. On the right side of the screen it says Mortal Wrath appearing in 2 minutes. I'm going to open up some of these chests because there's one chest that I want to talk about. So the breach that was done earlier, if you managed to defeat all 5 breaches, you would get this key of Greater Nightmares. This key of Greater Nightmares can be used at this waypoint Hidden Depths. So you waypoint here, you go down this tunnel, you go into this labyrinth maze that I'll probably talk about later, and in the center there's a chest that you open up that you can get a lot of different loot from. But up to the Vine Wrath, I need to talk about the Vine Wrath.
You jumped.
So for the Vine Wrath, it's this plant boss over here, this big red icon. We actually don't fight him, we fight his champion, sort of like his bodyguards. There are 3 different lanes. This is the bottom lane, this is middle, and this is the top lane that's kind of hard to see, but it is there. I am being attacked by a devourer. Okay. So each boss has a different mechanic. The bottom lane boss, well, let me talk about the entire event in general when it comes to the Vine Wrath. So each lane has a golem. Top, middle, and bottom lane has a golem. A friendly golem. That golem's our friend. We need to escort and protect that golem. We have to escort him all the way over to this wall over here. By escorting to the wall, the golem will blow up the section of the wall, and eventually players will be able to run in here and fight the Mortal Vine Wrath champion. When all 3 champions are defeated, the event's over and people get a lot of rewards. So the issue is 15 golems, you can't lose more than 15 golems. If a player team, I'll show you the cinema first, and then I'll keep explaining. This is the Vine Wrath. So if a player team wipes here, Like, let's say bottom lane goes in here and wipes. All 3 lanes will lose their golems. The Vine Raft, the boss, will destroy all 3 of them. So you can only get 5 wipes, cause 3 times 5, 15. And then the event will fail and it will be over. This is the golem for top lane, this Arboreal tree. At each of these, at each of the golem spawn points, there's support siege carry ammo. The golem picks up the ammo and it will start walking this red shell to the vines. And it will blow up the vines so we can eventually break in. There is a repair crate, armor crate by each of the siege sites. As you can tell, I have a hammer in my hand. By using the repair hammer, you can run up and use it to build siege weapons. The siege weapons have already been built here, so don't have to worry about it. The arrow cards, I can't stress their porters enough, are really fantastic, especially up top for killing an immortal. Let's go and let's check on the other lanes. You see this, I'm gonna stop here. You see this red arrow? That's signified for players at the bottom lane to run in. So the champion at the bottom lane, it is a troll. The troll uses a variety of different attacks. The main thing to watch out for is each of the champions, they'll eventually run to the Vine Raft for help. They're like, I'm scared, mommy, please help me. And then the Vine Raft will unleash a mega attack to destroy all the players. For the bottom lane, the mega attack is a laser beam. You will have to go to these circles, get bees to follow you, and stand on this white circle. The white circle will allow you to build up a honeycomb wall that will protect you from the Mortem's attacks, the Vine Raft attacks. I'm kind of late, so I can't actually see this. I can't see the players fighting either. But you can see on the icon that some of them are going down, but they're getting picked up. This is the champion. Eventually, they'll build a honeycomb wall here to protect themselves from the Vine Raft laser. If you are not stacked behind that honeycomb wall, you will die. While you're stacked behind that honeycomb wall, use stability to make sure the laser beam doesn't knock you off. I apologize for not being able to show this to you because I arrived there late. One other thing to note, this is bottom lane golem. You notice it just chilling there, standing out, because there's nothing else to do. The players are inside. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna check on mid lane. This entire event chain that's going on right now is just called a Vine Raft. If you look in looking for group, it will say Vine Raft or VW if someone's doing it. Also, you're looking for a Silverwastes map, it will say SW and a percentage, and that will let you know the percentage of the percentage to the breach event, which was the previous event with the 5 bosses. Know this was a lot to swallow, so rewatch the video if you need to. Okay, this is mid lane boss, it's a golem. You notice the golem falling apart, it wasn't protected, and now it says siege carriers lost 2 of 15. So, this is a footnote for mid lane boss. Oh, that's another thing. If the golem's doing really well and protected, it will grant us boons, like 25 stacks of mine. Who doesn't want that? That's incredible. You can also see the siege carrier ammunition site that the golem uses is at really low health. If that's completely destroyed, the golem would just stand here and get whacked on. Not really helpful to anyone, and the Vine Raft for them will be that much closer to failing. You can also see champions say 0 out of 3. That means that the bottom lane fell to kill the champion. So now it's the mid lane turn. Mid lane is going to go in and fight the same champion that bottom lane failed to kill. If bottom lane has succeeded in beating the champion, they would fight. They would have fought a different, unique champion. So, what's next? There's a lot to cover for this event. Since this video is like a Silverwastes overview, there's something that I forgot to mention. By doing events, you have the ability to gain shovels. This is a shovel right here, Silverwastes shovels. By using a shovel, you'll get in your hand. And you have two options, sonar or day. By pressing number 2, it does sonar and green arrows will appear. You notice this beam of light appear just like in Guild Wars 1, Light of Deldamore. You walk over to it, use skill number 1, dig for the buried treasure. You notice this ping on the minimap so players know that it's there. And if you have a bandit key that you can get from events or from that merchant that I showed you at the beginning of this video, you can get the bandit skeleton keys. Bandit skeleton keys are used to open up chests. Sometimes when looking for a group, you'll see Silverwastes chest farm. Here we go, Silverwastes 20%. For 20% to the breach event. Okay, next up is that red arrow. I may be able to get close enough to actually show you what it looks like. I'll show you this champion fight, it's pretty interesting. I am pretty late, so it's probably better if I don't go in so I can show you some of the other bosses. Okay, it may be hard to see, but way over my mouse, you see that little hill? That's a honeycomb wall. That honeycomb wall is what players will stand behind when the boss starts attacking. The laser beam. This is a bad idea. Let's see if I can make it in time. Yeah, made it. Okay, so that's the honeycomb wall. We're all protected from the laser beam. This is the Mordum Beekeeper boss, the troll that I talked to you about. It's gonna go around, turning around the circles like you see now. Just keep strafing and keep attacking. As long as you keep the attacks up, this will be fine. Also, players, res the down players when you can. Dead players encourage the waypoint because they will scale up the event and they make this entire fight so much more harder. So yeah, if you're watching this video and you're one of the people that just laid dead, please don't, waypoint. While I'm standing at this honeycomb wall, you notice down here there's the waypoint is uncontested, hidden death waypoint. People have completed that event. So if you die, waypoint there, and then just run back to the Vine Wrath. It's not that far of a run to make it back. He's going around in his circle attacker pattern again. Our time kind of looks good for this. This depends on our players if they'll stay alive or not. Notice the honeycomb wall has been reappeared. It reappeared because players lured bees over, I believe, to rebuild up the honeycomb wall. Bees are the red AoE circles that chase after you. Okay, we're stacking up here. We have 40 seconds to kill this guy, and we did it. The Vine Raft didn't like that. It's kind of choking in a way or something. Some type of dance maybe. Okay, and we're gonna get kicked back out to the spawn point of mid lane. Now, thing to note. This icon that I'm mousing over above skill number 7 says track. So, and it says 7 minutes. So for 7 minutes, I cannot re-enter to fight the Vine Raft champion. So if I was to go up to top or bottom lane and try to help them out with the Vine Raft champion, the game will not let me. Not for 7 more minutes. We're back up at top lane. See, and down player, resing him. This probably was an arrow cart user, so it's definitely good to get them up. You can see I am getting more and more bandit crests over time.
Turbo mode, engage.
This is the champion Mortal Wolf. Normally spawns when there's a lot of players kind of in one area. But sometimes it would just spawn regardless of numbers. Either way, I am going to leave top for right now.
Your crawl impression is really coming along.
Okay, C-Scary ammunition, that's something I forgot to talk about. So when the ammo site's completely depleted its health, like right now, each site will have a different mechanic to repair it. Like at top, you see these coconut trees? I am going to roll into it. And a piece of ammo landed on my head. So I'm going to carry it over here and rebuild up the ammo site. In these 10 pieces. It's good for other players to help. But they're not helping because of this red arrow here that's telling them to go into the top. So it does not matter to rebuild an ammo site right now. What matters now is for everyone to run in and attack that champion. Okay, this is the second Vine Raft fight. I mean, one of the second champions. The Mortal Mangler. It's basically an oversized thrasher. So there are these plants on the ground, these little plant pods. Gonna kill the plant pods. Step in the circle, turn purple. Purple means more damage. It also means less damage from the boss. The boss ran over to the Vine Raft, so we're all running over here to this white safe area. So we can all live. Anyone that isn't on that spot will get dazed, like this ranger that I'm mousing over. They'll get dazed for a insanely long time and there's not anything we can do about it, but res them when they go down. When the boss spins around like that, it shoots out green projectiles. Similar to the blue boss at Blue Oasis from earlier during the breach. For the projectiles, reflect them back, wall of reflection, mesmer feedback, ranger axe offhand. Staff earth heli reflects, anything reflects or projectile canceling. We're doing good so far in time. The time to beat this boss is on the right side of the screen. I am not sure. Yep, I'm purple, so I'm going to continue to do more damage to this boss. I am not purple, so I need to kill one of these pods so I can take less damage. And I need to roll into... oh, I didn't get the pod. But it's okay, we're gonna win. Okay, that's the end of that champion. We'll resume with battle charge so you can see what happens next in the other areas. Okay, and since I can't really show you all the second boss because I am being tracked, I will at least talk about it. So when it comes to the second boss, there are going to be these plant pods that stick up out the ground. You want to kill these plant pods, and then you will turn a purplish color. This purplish color will allow you to do more damage to the boss, and you would take less damage on the boss. I mean, you would take less damage from the boss. And that's the main mechanic to beating that boss. So long as you turn purple and keep DPSing it, you're good. When the boss runs over to the Vine Raft, remember the Vine Raft is this red icon. At least we can see that. When he runs over there, that's when all players should stack behind that boss on this white little triangle, and you'll be protected from the laser effects. Um, the laser attacks from the Vine Raft boss. Okay, notice all these dead player icons. That's kind of a bad sign. But there's only two now, so maybe they're getting better. What happened was that boss ran over to the Vine Raft, and these two players here did not stack behind the champion, as I mentioned earlier, and the Vine Raft shot a big old laser beam killing them. Notice in the upper right hand corner it says 10 out of 15 golems. If this boss fails, then we will instantly lose 3 golems. But they got it, 2 out of 3. Okay, so earlier I was talking about how to repair the different siege sites. For this siege site, when it goes down, a bunch of yellow flags will appear. You pick up the ammo and you turn it in. Remember at the siege site earlier at the top? You roll into coconut trees, the top being up here. Roll it up in the coconut trees, it will drop ammo, and then you use that ammo to repair the siege site. Bottom siege site has its own repair mechanics, although I don't remember it explicitly, so I probably shouldn't talk too much about it. But it will be kind of obvious what you do. You collect the ammo off the ground and then you give it to the siege site. Bottom lane is normally the easiest one. I normally hang out at one of the other lanes. And this is what it looks like when you did not make it in time. I won't be able to show you Darkwing the Terragraph. So for him, whenever he runs over to the Vine Raft like he just did, players should be killing these plants. These plants will open up flowers. They will jump on the flowers. By jumping on the flowers, you'll avoid the Vine Raft poison. You'll avoid the Vine Raft poison. He will poison all of the ground. So you jump on flowers to avoid that. Meanwhile, you have at least one ranged weapon and one, so you can at least keep ranging the boss when he goes over to the Vine Raft. That's about it. While we're waiting, what you could do is cheer for your teammates, and so on. Seems like the boss laughs whenever he does his attack. Wish I could get a better view for y'all. Okay, the Vine Wrath has been defeated. The last champion has been killed. And you can see that it's just sunk down into the ground. So we're running in towards the chest. And there are normally 2 Lost Bandit chests, 1 to the left, 2 to the left of the big chest, and 2 to the right. Not always, like in this case. Okay, one more. Next up, what you will see players do, this red commander tag, they will run all the way, since this video is getting kind of long, I'll just draw it. They will run over here to my personal waypoint and fight a Mortal Champion wolf. Whenever you see a red pin like that, remember it's a buried lock chest that someone found. They would then run down here to the south to another champion to kill. And there's a 3rd champion somewhere over here, the Thrasher. Just remember, if it's a red AoE circle around that Thrasher, step out of it, otherwise it will steal your health. Those are the 3 champions I'm talked about. There's a 4th champion up here that requires a lot of conditions to kill as a husk. And there's a 5th one over here that requires more conditions. Not conditions, just requires basically range attacks. Don't melee that boss. So I'm gonna go waypoint down here. This is the hidden death waypoint at the bottom. This is the infantry way to the labyrinth. You notice the vines are up here. The vines will not disappear until the 3 champions that I mentioned earlier have been defeated. They've been defeated, so I am moving on now. You notice I'm a ball of light. I'm going to run into more light. I can use skill number 1 to daze enemies. All these red enemies are mortal wolves. If they hit you once, you will die. You will get down, and then you will die. That player stealths me, so I'm going to say thanks, thank you. This is the Greater Nightmare chest in the middle. So for this event, in the right side of the screen, you collect 100 chests, you'll get a bonus to your magic find. In multiple tiers, you get more bonus to the magic find, so that you can open up all your loot, and you have a better chance of getting good stuff. So that's a Silverwastes overview for today. I know it was kind of compact and rushed, but this map has a lot to cover. Just explore it and have fun. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching.